Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Next Generation Sports Talk. I'm your host, Roman Bostic, and today we are going to be talking about free agency. Yes, I know a lot of these trades will be late. I apologize for not getting to this sooner, but I have been out, and it's just taken me a really long time to get this video out, as every time I want to get it done or started, well, another big thing happens. So this is going to be a very long video. So without further ado, let's just start it. We're going to start off with some trades. The first off, Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins. In this trade, the Chiefs received a 2022 first-round pick, a second-round pick from 2022, and a fourth-round pick, plus a fourth and sixth-round pick in the 2023 draft. The Dolphins got Tyreek Hill. For the Chiefs, this is a D-plus trade. You're giving up one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, and as a Raiders fan, it kind of pains me to say that, but he's able to stretch a defense like no other receiver. There is nobody quite like him who is able to take that much attention off and still play like he is. He's playing at such a high level, and now their wide receiver core is a bit lackluster. It's Juju Smith-Schuster and Mecole Hardman. You have by far the worst wide receiver core in the AFC West, in a division where every other team is getting more competitive. You are just getting worse. Dolphins, I give this a B+. This is one of the fastest wide receiver cores in the NFL. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Will Fuller if he opts to come back. But really, it's a deep wide receiver core. Sure, you had to give up a bunch of draft picks and sacrifice your future, but you are going all in now. You have to win this. You have Teron Armstead, and you now have to see, is Tua really the guy? Because if Tua doesn't come up clutch and doesn't have a decent season, if this team doesn't make the playoffs, Tua is not the answer. He just isn't. As much as I hate to say it, he's just not playing well. Dolphins, only reason this isn't great is because they had to give up a lot of value, but now they have probably the best wide receiver core in the NFL. Next trade we're talking about is Matt Ryan. The Falcons got a 2022 third-round pick in exchange for the veteran quarterback, and the Colts got Matt Ryan. The Falcons, I give this grade a D-. I think it was a terrible trade. Obviously, this team is tanking. I understand that. But for a third-round pick to get a veteran quarterback like Matt Ryan, who, granted, everyone is saying he's washed. He's not that good. But Matt Ryan isn't that bad of a QB. Sure, he's not playing that well, but he's playing on the Falcons. He doesn't really have that much to work with. He didn't have his wide receivers. He's been working with bums. And I think in Indy, with an offensive line, a defense, a great running back, and a pretty good wide receiving core, he'll be able to do a lot. For the Colts, this is an A-grade trade. You get a proven quarterback in Matt Ryan for a pretty cheap price, and now you can make a run. After you traded Wentz, which we'll talk about later, you didn't really have anything. You put all your eggs in this basket, and, well, you're praying it succeeds. You're praying that Matt Ryan does what he does best and restarts his career. Now, the next trade. Probably the biggest and most controversial trade on this list, Deshaun Watson. The Texans gave up, a 2024 sixth-round pick and Deshaun Watson in exchange for first-round picks in 2022, 2023, and 2024, along with a 2023 third-rounder and a 2022 and 2024 fourth-round selections. After this, Cleveland decided to ink Deshaun Watson to a new 5-year, $230 million deal that's fully guaranteed. Browns, B- here. No guarantee that he's even going to be able to come in and play that much. He's still facing those civil charges despite being cleared. And, well, you gave up a bunch of value. If he blows up in your face after not having played for so long, this will be the worst trade of all time. You have crippled your offense in exchange for one player. There's a ton of value to give on a super expensive contract. You're putting all your faith in the fact that Deshaun Watson isn't going to get charged. And as much as I'd like to say that he's innocent, the charges and the chances aren't looking so good. You just did Baker Mayfield dirty, and now you have two quarterbacks on your roster. So I wouldn't be surprised if Baker Mayfield was traded by the end of the night, or, hey, whenever he does get traded. Next one is the Texans, A+. Great trade. You got a bunch of value. He wasn't going to play for you ever. Let's just get that out of the way. People are like, oh, well, the Texans gave up a really good quarterback. He wasn't going to come in and play. Let's just start with that. There was no way Deshaun Watson was coming back to that team. He didn't want to, didn't like the organization. It's not a crap franchise who can't win games. No way was Deshaun Watson willingly going back to that team. You basically just got all this stuff for free because you weren't going to use Deshaun Watson anyway. You got it after he got cleared, so you don't have to deal with the legal trouble, and now that's on the Browns' hands. But we'll see how this goes in hindsight. The next one, we're talking about Devontae Parker, a trade that just went down recently. The Patriots get Devontae Parker, a 5th-round pick. The Dolphins get a 3rd-round pick. I got to start with the Patriots. I think this is a B trade. Get a very good jump ball receiver. When he's healthy, he's one of the best one-on-one receivers in the NFL, in my opinion. Great physical receiver, probably can work with Mac Jones, and works well with that Bill Belichick style of offense. Got to run the route slower, and on a team like the Dolphins, that's just a bunch of speed. Well, it's not that bad. The Patriots, they got Devontae Parker in a 5th, and the Dolphins got 3rd. For the Dolphins, I give this grade a C-. You have fast receivers now, but you lost that jump ball guy. Your team is a bit one-dimensional when it comes to the receiver game. A bit worried for this team. Maybe, just maybe, they'll be able to keep making moves. Also, forgot to mention here, the trade to the Commanders. The Commanders had to get... Yes, the Commanders traded with the Colts to get Carson Wentz. I don't remember the exact details of the trade. It's one that I just remembered about. But Carson Wentz, I think it was like a C trade for the Commanders, a B trade for the Colts. The Colts give up a quarterback, give up that contract, and the Commanders get Commander Carson. Don't really see how that's a benefit because Carson Wentz hasn't been very good recently, but we'll see how it goes. Now we're going to move into free agency. We're starting with the Dolphins, who signed Teron Armstead, offensive tackle. This is an A- grade. They get a much needed offensive line help. This offensive line was absolutely awful. You kidding me? One of the worst offensive lines in football. Explains why their running game is so bad and why Tua never gets time to throw. He's not called Tua turn the ball over for no reason. But look, I think that if this team doesn't get double-digit wins, doesn't make the playoffs, and doesn't have a somewhat of a playoff run, get Tua out of there. I don't think he's it right now for the franchise. You need a quarterback who's proven, who knows what they're doing, and right now, doesn't seem like that's Tua. I want to love him. I really do. But I just don't think it's the move. Next up, the Vikings get Za'Darius Smith. B+ grade for me. Great job bolstering that defense. You're going to help build a great defensive line with Danielle Hunter and Smith. However, he's a bit expensive, bit pricey. Stolen from under the nose of the Ravens, who originally he had agreed to a contract with, until the Vikings came running with about $7 million more a year than what the Ravens were offering, and he decided to go there. So now Za'Darius Smith is going to have the chance to sack his old Packers friends and teammates, such as Aaron Rodgers, and tackle Aaron Jones in the backfield. We'll see how this one goes. I think it was a great deal for the Vikings, and really, I don't see a problem with it. Next one, it's a simple re-signing. The Bucs re-sign playoff Lenny. I think it's a B+ deal. You know, Leonard Fournette, while he's not the greatest running back, he's still a good running back. It's a B+. He's been playing pretty dang well through these past seasons. And correct me if I'm wrong, he's not getting any worse. It's not like he's declining. I think playoff Lenny, good trade. He's getting $7 million a year, which I think is well deserved for him. I think he can maybe do well in this offense, and I think he will do well in this offense. However, probably, in my opinion, the best free agent signing, the Bengals select La'el Collins, tackle A+ grade. You get offensive line help for Joe Burrow. This class is so strong at the offensive line. In my mind, one of the better offensive line classes that we have seen. Now, you get La'el Collins, a proven stud of a right tackle to help support Burrow, and that's all you need. The Bengals realized their flaws. They saw that Super Bowl game, and they were... Well, I think they know what to do. They need to build an offensive line. If they don't build an offensive line in the draft, if every pick is an offensive lineman, maybe a cornerback, something, I don't know. You need to get rid of Eli Apple, so maybe taking a cornerback wouldn't be that bad. But offensive line needs to be all the picks through rounds 1 through 4. Nothing more, nothing less. That's really it that I have to evaluate. Good, smart signing by the Bengals. The final news, the Rams signed Bobby Wagner, A- grade. They are stacking up for another run, $10 million per year. He's a veteran, still going to be really good. Adds that presence to the locker room. This team is just getting better and better and better. Loading up with superstars. It's going to be a very, very good year. AFC, obviously, way more stacked than the NFC. But hey, we're still going to be able to watch some good football. But unfortunately, that is going to be where this video does come to an end. I have been your host, Roman Bostic, and until then, we will catch you guys next time. See you guys, and peace out.